Hello, everyone. I do apologize. I am attempting something new. It does not want to fully behave, but I will let you know as soon as I figure out whether I got it working or not. Hello. I do apologize, everyone. Give me a moment. If this does not work, I do have a fallback. I was hoping to have a nice surprise going on, but my computer is very upset with the fact that I am attempting to do what I'm currently doing. So, hopefully, this fixes that. Truthfully, I have no idea if it's going to. Audio test. Okay, hopefully this is behaving the way it's supposed to. Unfortunately, nothing else wants to behave the way it's supposed to, so this could get very, very bad very quickly. Sorry about all this, guys. And I'm sorry I've got the cover down. Unfortunately, it is showing information I don't want it showing right now. I did have this working for a moment, but it appears like it is being very finicky with it. Okay. Looks like we're scrapping this project for now. Unfortunately, my system is crashing out the headset repeatedly. And it could be another issue with NVIDIA, because I've had that issue in the past. Hello. Okay, so in theory, this should be behaving. Hopefully you all can hear me. We are actually going to switch games. That does mean that I will be getting the game loaded now. It also means I have to make sure to shut down all the games that are attempting to load. Hey, hey, hey. I see you in chat. I do apologize that you don't get to see the surprise that I had planned. Unfortunately, what I was going to do was a VR Elite Dangerous. Originally, that was going to be a co-star, co-pilot little program, but my co-star is currently in an area where he cannot join me. So I was going to do it alone, but it does appear that my computer is having a hard time with VR at the moment. Oh, did it lower my volume? Microphone test, microphone test. Is this better? Audio test. Oh, that's why. There you go. Is this better? For some reason, my audio mixer basically bounced all my audio between two different systems. Yeah. Thank you kindly. Let me drop the cover. Oh yeah, I forgot. This game is less than friendly with a lot of the things. Okay. So we're going to start a new game, which will probably make some of my older viewers sad because it is it's the stream that I originally had done way back in the day. So have you ever seen any gameplay for the game Elite Dangerous? Have you seen any space games where they are flying the ships around, and it's got like a cockpit kind of view? I'm trying to think of another game that's got a similar thing. Okay, so they have Elite Dangerous does this amazing thing where they have a VR ability to play the whole game in VR, and it plays absolutely beautifully. At least the last time I've played it. It has been a little while, so you know they could always mess something up. You never know. But It is probably, if I were to ever say there was a game that gives people a true depth of scale and a true understanding of how good VR can be with a good headset, I would have to say it's Elite Dangerous. And that's even if you're not playing it. If you're just along for the ride, like if you're sitting in a co-pilot seat, you're not controlling anything, you're just there, you could probably have one of the most amazing experiences ever. So with Elite Dangerous, when you jump from one star system to another, you come in and your jump always ends very close to the largest solar mass, which is normally a star. It could be a black hole, it could be a quasar, it could be a bunch of things, but it's normally a star. Now, the like really crazy thing is in Elite Dangerous, when you drop in and you're in VR, your brain basically does not tell you that you're in VR anymore. Like, you see that star drop in, fill the view screen, go beyond the glass window in front of you, and your first thought is, oh no, I've got to pull up, like, I've got to get away, and it's amazing. It is absolutely a beautiful journey, even if you don't get any video game, quote unquote, done. Yes, you're saying. Sorry. I kind of ramble when it comes to that. It's the best way to describe it, to just condense it down, is it is the best thing for flying in space like you see in the movies, but where your brain thinks it's in real life. And I'm hoping to get that working, hoping to get my computer to behave with it, because it could also just be my setup right now requires quite a bit of USB ports being used. I have a set of backup drives that are currently doing something that I still have to maneuver over to the motherboard itself, but hopefully I can get that VR going, because it is something I want to share with as many people as possible, simply because it is absolutely breathtaking. I can't remember if all these work or if I'm about to crash this game, but I already had a weird enough we don't want no cost. Okay, and then we want to come here, go to sources, and we don't want sandbox. We do like legacy. Advanced settings. Vehicles, all. Town names, English. American, that's even funnier. Climate, temperate environment, temperate difficulty. We'll leave it easy. Maximum loan, normal loan interest. Make everything relatively cheap because we want to have fun. We're going to make it the cities as difficult as possible. Give us a reason to set up big industries and all kinds of nice stuff. Now, one of the reasons why I was doing like a freeform Thursday is because I will not be available to stream tomorrow. I have some family in town that I have not seen for... Well, I've not seen them in quite a while. And I would like to spend some time with them without rushing them out, so... It is what it is. We just gotta wait for the map generator to catch up to us. One of the biggest downsides is having this name. So this game is Transport Fever 2. It is actually one of the games that I first started streaming, or that is poorly phrased. When I came back to streaming, it is one of the games that I used to stream almost every day. I had a nice friend who would come, watch, talk with me about it, but unfortunately they disappeared at some point, and, it was hard to keep playing when I was playing by myself. So I started branching out. And then we are here. I still need to finish setting up the green screen, just so that I can partition the room I'm in so I can start using my webcam again. Because I know people prefer to see, a streamer's face. So this game, the main objective is you have cities, and you have to use different trains, planes, boats, and automobiles to get people and goods between cities, factories, and things of that nature. There is Transport Fever 3 currently in the works, currently coming out. I'm not going to say soon, but I'm hoping soon. But it is a very good management game with a very laid-back attitude, or at least laid back in the sense that if you do good planning, you're not going to run into any surprises. If you don't do good planning, this can become the most terrifying game to play, because you will find yourself struggling for money, whether you thought you needed to struggle or not. Oh, while this is loading, so I have, but I have not played it. I think the last time I played Resident Evil was when it first came out the first time.
Like, I honestly, I may have a faulty memory, but I could have sworn I remember playing it on like either PlayStation 1 or 2. Which is funny because I'm not a big horror fan, but my brother is, and he loved the idea of playing the game, and I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Hopefully everything goes well, because this is normally the part where the game would crash if any of the mods are conflicting. And because I checked the checkbox for a bunch of extra mods, it could, you know, just go on me. Hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see. Yeah, so my problem with horror games is I flinch very often to jump scares. But I also have that natural urge to murder the thing that scared me, which is not very good when you have expensive monitors and very quick fists. So I normally try not to play horror games, because I don't get the same level of enjoyment out of it as I do with a lot of other things. Okay, we're gonna pause because as the years tick on, things will get more difficult. Let's slowly make our way around the map. Okay, so we have a very quick oil setup. That might be a little cash cow for now. The problem is the nearest city that also needs fuel is way up there, so we'll keep that in mind. Oh, that's great for getting tools, but that's also over there. However, if I do build a harbor, I could build some proper freight harbors to move goods all over, so that might be where I take it eventually. This right here is absolutely going to be a thing I do, because that is so simple that that'll be a profitable backbone for me. So this will give me fuel and brick. The major question is going to be, where are these guys? So you're all the way over here. You're over here, so a little ways away, not the worst. And you're up in a mountain, so that's never going to happen. Okay, so that might be a later on thing. It is a little ways away. I will have to build a bit of a system for it, but that could also work. It sounds silly, but when you first start this, a lot of it is managing and planning, because if you don't use these businesses, they will go out of business, and then they might appear somewhere else. They might just not. So you have to be careful with how you handle it. I think what I'm going to do is come over here and go back to my roots a little bit, at least with this game. Awesome. I forgot that I have Tram Track setups. But first and foremost, we do want interstate highway. It is a little bit silly that we have city connection points there. Actually, since we do have city connection points, I should probably use them. Do that. And we'll come off here. We'll switch to a curve. Well, as much as I normally don't like going through a business to get to a city, we'll do that. That way, local traffic goes around it. Now we want to come here. We do want tram track. We do want depths. We don't need secondary platforms on that side. I do that. I come here. We're gonna do. We want secondary platform there. Now, technically, we are spending way too much money doing this because, like, we're spending like 100,000 on some of these, and you really don't need to do that. But for now, this is where we're gonna go. We're also gonna there, and then we're gonna set up our in-city network. Now, the most, like what this whole thing is used for is like building connections and things of that nature. Now, I technically did this the wrong way by doing this way. Just, it's not officially the wrong way, it's just knowing how I intend to build is the wrong way, because I'm doing these little self-run streetcars. I'm gonna go. I want to do this in a nice manner. And the reason we're doing these like streetcar tram track things the way we're doing them, which is fine because it's just, I just realized it didn't put tram track on my tram track, because why would you? There, tram track, yes. That, do that, and that. It's not great, but it does keep them out of the way for the most part. Later on, what I'll do is I'll add like backdoor access to this, and that will give me a lot of control. You then want to come here into the city and create a tram route, or not even the route, because this is actually just me paying to install Tramtrack in the city. There. So we install Tramtrack into the city ourselves. We want trams. Don't want bus lanes. But we do want a circle. And then here, 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 and there. Actually, we'll go, yeah, there and there. And we'll hit OK. It might add another tram depot. Oh, no. It bought them at the appropriate places. But it also built us our lines. Now I do have a whole system I use normally for these, but I'm honestly gonna ignore it for now, which is not a good thing. Like, the systems are normally what keep you sane when it comes to these, because it's very easy to set up a route and then forget about it. But nope. We'll set up a nice little delivery line. Then we'll make a new one. Intake. The food intake line. We'll make it nice food colored. You're gonna go there, to there, to there. Now the other thing you're gonna do is I'm gonna come here to waypoints. And I'm gonna add waypoints there. And if you look, you notice how it likes using the normal roads? You might be able to force it onto these side roads by doing that. And what happens is, by forcing them over onto side roads, it allows other things to come in and move it. The other thing is, these side tram have their own speed limits, which allow for quite a few different things. It does look like they updated a few of the mods, which is really nice. This game's a little older, but it still gets quite a bit of love from its community, and that is always a nice thing. You did not mean to order you. I'll do 15. And the reason I'm doing 15 for these, even though it's a very, very small route, is I need the money. Three of these, paint them white, and stick them there. Now, here's a fun thing. If I select everything and say, hey, keep maintenance very high, nothing will break down, which is nice. Or, not break down, nothing will deteriorate, which is very nice. Now, the only downside I have is I do not have... So I set up the passenger lines, but I don't have anywhere to take them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up passenger lines going here. Now, I could do it by road, but given what I know about this, and I might turn that into a bay in a bit, but given what I know, I might want to actually make this a passenger harbor. What I'm going to do is put a passenger there, over to here, and we want to do this in a very, we'll say, safe way. Do flatten and then smooth. And by doing that, even though that is basically burning money, put a little harbor there. Excuse me. You could never just let me make a harbor there. Okay. Shipyard. Just toss one there. Again, right click has never done that. That must be a mod that's been updated. New line. I don't know if this has a name, but we will call this A L E to A U A port. And we want to make sure it's pass, as it's because it is a passenger port. The other thing I want to do is come here, get a nice city road. That. Yes. Alright, thank you for stopping by. It's always nice to chat. If you want or have time to come back, feel free to. I will be here till 9:30. I believe that's another hour, 12 minutes, give or take. Bye-bye. Great. Auto save. Just realized I didn't check to see how many grams it set up for those lines. Okay, so a bit of a ridiculous amount. Yeah. It is cute that they're mostly staying out of people's way. That's gonna get a little crazy a little quickly. Let me come here and cargo space. Well, technically, cargo room, not space. Putting it there. And when I click on this, I can select that. Okay. Okay, that was painful because I just realized that it added team vehicles. Yeah, the answer is no. Boom. Like, the city is not that big. It does not need that many vehicles in order to pull off this. All the way up here. Now, I come here and check out players. Come to Street View. Track, yes. Actually, am I doing this? Actually, quite literally, one of the best setups for an actual train. Yeah. Go. The only reason I say that is because all of this is just right in here. Building. Main building. I do that and that. Boom. At least for now, that works fine. Configure this. We're gonna come to miscellaneous, because if I do that, it automatically connects. Here and here. Now, since this is the end of the line, really sharp inlet on it. That. And we'll come here and delete the random station that just appeared because I keep hitting right click. And for now, we are going to take and put that there. While it's not the most efficient way to do that, because as you can see, it spends a lot of money. It is the way I'm going to currently do it, because it does give me the best speed metrics. Now the other thing is, oh, gotta wait for the autosave. Do a nice slow switchover because no train's gonna be moving that quickly in that area. And then another slow switch over here because any train that's going down that way that is not coming this way is going to bypass the entire system. So I know what I'm doing. Okay, good. That because there and there. There and there. And there. That there. And there, because apparently we have bear crossing. You didn't see anything. You're right, because I've never seen this before. I've been playing this game a lot, and I've never seen a bear. Kind of funny. Actually, very funny that I've never seen it, because I'm normally looking at all kinds of things. That there kind of makes it look like it's part of the area, and then I can just come here and make it that. Now the issue would be that I don't have a turnaround, but actually not the worst thing. Here is our turnabout. There, and take and put nothing, because I honestly want it to jam up, technically speaking. Only because Trains are expensive, and if they go wrong, I want to make sure I'm aware of it. Doesn't have the most horsepower, but does move the fastest. The question is, do I have a cargo wagon that can take advantage of it? Technically. So using that train's mediocre. That's mediocre, but I think I get like a couple extra wagons. Now, the problem is that is not fast enough. That, in theory, will be fast enough and won't be mediocre. I think I will do that. Black. And then we want to actually make a line because we have not made the necessary line for this. Black. Bruh. Gas. Will do. And come here and go. Boom. And as silly as it sounds, even with everything else I have set up, this guy right here is probably going to make me the most money. Don't get me wrong, foods, as you can see, are already turning a profit. Food's always going to turn profit more than like my passenger lines and stuff like that, because passenger lines take a while. They need infrastructure. Like the passenger ships may make quite a bit depending on how many people are riding them at any given point in time. So what I can do is make a street access on this side and do a bypass. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Only because it looks nice. Hopefully I'll make enough money to pay off the bills, but for now, it's gonna be load 2, take 1. Load 2, take 1. food and the delivery of food making the most money. Ferrying passengers on actual ferries. That's probably gonna make quite a bit on its own. Yeah. And vehicles. All vehicles. Thank you. Actually, all vehicles. Thank. All vehicles. Thank you. But yeah, if I come here and go like I'm gonna replace it. Yeah. Not worth the replacement right this second. But that is behaving. I come here. Do that. Go like that. Actually, since no one coming down this way, that is technically the best way for me to do that. Now what I need to do is come here, buildings, packages. Put that there. Streets, tools, path. And let me set up my delivery for the city. There, there. There, there. There, there. There and there. And there and there. Now, just need to copy this. Delivery. Go boom. 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 It makes a nice little loop. Here, buy this, buy this. Those, mark them in white. Set them to high standards. Set them on a delivery. I believe this is a 2-to-1 as well, so this will always have half. That'll always be half instead of quartered. Okay, that is quite useful. I might add a cargo port over here. That way, as more supplies come in, I can start shipping them out, because sending the fact that these both have the same requirement, absolutely amazing. In fact, I have 3. That's absurd. And right now we are not moving. Like, they're moving, but they're not moving a lot of product. But we can fix that at a point. For right now, that come here, come to cargo harbor. Okay. Okay, so as the money comes in, I can add a cargo harbor. And I might want to expand it as time goes on. That does mean that I will be upgrading, say, this to a cargo dock, simply because it is far more convenient. That's gonna need landscaping. This is probably gonna. Ooh. Oh. Probably gonna need landscaping, but I probably also just get away with that. And then bring it all in. Now, again, the problem is getting enough resources. Oh, now I got a little bit of funds going. Let me take a peek. It does look like the navigable waterways are going to be my best bet for just general goods transport. They're not great, but don't really, like, I have an option. I could start doing this inland area, but I guess I did pick quite a few waterways in the original design, so there's that. City of Surprise. Who knew? But now if I put a port there, I can then use trains. Go from Surprise up there. And then use that to go from here over to Green Bay, Fairfield, stuff like that. Because these areas, while they have some setup for controlling, what they have and giving them stuff they want, it's nowhere near what they're gonna, require. I believe there was a wooden tool. Yeah. That's great. I just don't have a way of lumberizing the wood. Do, but it's all the way over there. And anytime you have a mountain between you and you don't have a large amount of cash, you're going to be paying the piper quite heavily for it. Like, that's probably the best. Or, sorry, that out of Hollywood would probably be the best way to get tools. I feel like this map is going to lend itself very heavily to trams and boats. Just because, while there are nice trains in this, and the output might not be there. Let's see, are we making money? Yep. Expecting those to not really be profitable. This will start being profitable when it drops off. Uh-oh. Still way more than you technically need. Things. Now 142 is what this is moving on its own. This is only moving about 42. So I do need to here. Manage vehicles. Clone. Buy. Clone it again. More time. And we are now moving slightly more vehicles than we were doing intake, so should be good. Don't get me wrong, we are still moving technically too much. I'm also wasting quite a bit of resource just overflowing it, which is ever so slightly irritating. But we are moving it, and that's what counts. There we go. Commercial buildings are open up. Commercial buildings need food. Now, since I have the money, what I'm going to do is come here. and add those. Go. Now, what I can do, go here, manage the line, 3, but you also do partial overflow in 1 and 2. And by me setting that up like that, and then take this, throw it on 4. Actually, I just did that completely backwards. Needs to be on 4 with no partials. This needs to be on 1 with double partials. And by doing it that way, these should allow them to come in, make a delivery, move out. Now, why these are sitting for as long as they are, I don't know. Manage, actually it's not manage vehicle, go on manage the line, come here, number 5, 10-second max. Is a unload. Oop, that was bad. There we go. Did just delete product, which is irritating, but not the worst. We're gonna slowly repay the loan. Since these are only doing drop-offs because I don't want to be back feeding this line, they should move a little bit faster. Ooh, tool factory up in the mountains. Not particularly useful right now, but it's good to know about. Terminal's technically fine for now. We do want to check this. It has a 51 rate. Great, not the worst. We can only increase that if it comes to it. Yeah. That's how you make money. I do a mix. I can pull from here all the way over here. Let's prep this for our next adventure. Okay, that's why that's not doing that. Fine. So we can move people and freight. Question is, do I want to do it if I had a passenger line here? I can just branch it over there, but I'm adding fuel depot and so on there. I might want to just keep it as is. Yeah, I think we'll end up doing cargo ships because it is a very water heavy map. I do like that you can just kind of like pick a person and follow them, and they'll come over here and like actually wait for their stuff. Like, it's cool. Come here, repay some of that loan, and just work our way back. Like I said, it might behoove me to make a little tram crisscross area. And that wouldn't be intentional. That would, well, it'd be intentionally done by me, but it wouldn't be something necessary. It'd just be something that kind of looks cool. There we go. That's how you fix that issue. I don't like that. Just So wasteful. So what we're gonna do is come here. Do that. And wipe those out. And now, when we come here and go to tools and add tram track, it is just fine. Here, a loan. You only need 2. Telling you now, you only need 2. There. Like I said, you only need 2. That's good. Buildings. No. That there. Now, also, only show me places that I am. And we'll do delivery. There, 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 and there. Buy 3 of those. Go there. Put them there. Select everything. Select everything. And we are gonna take and make a nice new line. And it's gonna come from here to here. And that is a UA to, what do I want to call it? PRA. Goods. Enter. And then we just take here, go here, click that. We don't want to go too crazy, but we want to do like 10. I can't afford 10. So we're going to go down to 5. 4 to 5. Really should just save up for the 10. And oh look, oil is making the most money. Who would have guessed? Come here. Manage vehicles. And another ship. I am not taking a loan out for being a little negative, especially when almost all of my stuff is a positive payout. And now we can get those cars we were looking for. Buy streetcar 10 of the biggie boys. Do that. Do that. And do that. At least now, I should have goods moving between the two cities. The only real thing that's going to move for right now, though, is going to be the fuel. Theoretically, I could bring this here, but then I'd have to make the steel and then bring it all. Yeah, it's a lot of movement for not a lot of payout, not where it's currently at. We'll get there, though. You like that I have them just kind of go off onto their own road and do their own thing. Other thing I want to do is come here. Figure, passenger, boom, boom, boom. Terminal. We want this on 3. We want this on 2. And we want to come down here. That. Put another one in. Figure. On 1 and 2. And then 3 is going to be our new city line. Passenger inner city. Now I could do this with train. I might do it with train, but not right this second. Go there. It's not perfect, but of course I accidentally put these on the wrong line. And now they're on the right line. It's just going to take a little while for them to get caught up. Now I could do bricks, but in order to do that, I'm going to need either slag, sand, or the other materials. Slag would be a big process. Sand, however, would not be too bad. The problem is, in order to make sand, we'd have to get the fuel sand system, and I don't think we have it here. I did see we have a brick over here, so in theory, I could run a little system, bring it there, brings it into here, and then if I put a harbor there, I can bring food there to trade for brick, and, you know, get everything going nice and smoothly. Yeah, honestly, I don't need that. So far, we are doing well. None of these seem to be going crazy with overload, so it does appear to be behaving within a friendly margin. Honestly, I can't tell if the in-game audio is just very low for you guys, or if my little decibel rater is not quite accurate. There we go. In theory, I can duplicate this and get a second train running, which might be useful given that there's only a 44 rate on this. And it's actually looking for 76, and that's not counting the fact that it is going between the two. The other reason I've got time fast forward is because I want to unlock some later tech a little sooner. Just make things look a little neater, a little prettier. I think I still will put a port here. It's just gonna take some landscaping. Austin's probably gonna be a port town as well. Just because there's not, like, there's stuff around it, but there's nothing around it. So, like, even if I do this and get stripped out wood, first off, be two right next to each other. useless. Second off, I have to go all the way over there for plastics. Paper products. I could have swore we had a nearby paper products. Yeah, up here. So I could do that, but then I still have to get it down. Kind of cute how I got passenger trains and all that available, but I don't have a good place to set them up. I got a managed depot. Really wish it would just tell me, this is exactly how much you need to spend in order to duplicate this unit. We'll get there eventually. A lot of this game is, hurry up and wait. Alright, everyone. We'll be doing a quick wrapping up. I will be deleting this little station. It's cute, but one, I don't need it there, and two, I don't need it yet. But maybe in the future, we'll see. Alright, everyone. Thank you all for coming out, and take it easy.